Wow. The first words I think I ever said to you, Anna, they must have been in Spanish class. I remember you were always coming in late, right? And I probably asked if you did the homework or something. Yeah, but I remember the first words I said to you on our first like actual meeting on New Year's Eve at the park was probably like, "Hey, how's it going?" I remember we hadn't really met each other yet, so that was kind of the first, I guess, words that we said. I remember what you were wearing. Does that count? After we had met New Year's Eve, we kind of hit it off, and that was a whole nother story. But we went to the movies, and of course, we dragged along like 4 of our friends each. And I remember I was probably wearing, I liked flannels back then, so I was probably wearing a flannel and jeans. And Anna, you were probably wearing jeans and a shirt of some sort. I know you were wearing at the park was a black shirt, that black V-neck that you still have. But I can't remember exactly from the movies, but close enough, right? Our first kiss was right over here in the garage. And we had just come back from probably, it took me about 3.5 months just to ask her out. And then, probably another 3 months to kiss her for the first time. But it was right here in the garage, and I was really smooth about it, and, yeah, right here in the garage. It was great, right next to the skateboards. So when we first met, I for some reason thought girls all like scary movies. So I kept taking Anna to these scary movies. And so I think the first movie we saw was a scary movie, some dumb scary movie. However, the movie that we saw when I asked you out, Anna, if you remember, it was Fast and Furious 5. Actually 4. Yeah, it was 4 because they had that cool Subaru in it. Favorite meal to make together? So as you guys know, Anna and I both eat fairly differently. Anna eats fantastically. She makes the best food, and she shares with me occasionally, most of the time. And Lucas and I, up at school, we always make something that fits in a tortilla. So it's split. If we're over at Anna's house, we're just kind of helping her make whatever she's making and get to enjoy it. And if she's with me at my house, we're usually making some sort of taco or some sort of concoction that fits in a tortilla. I mean, every time I get to spend time with her is my ideal day. Every day at school. I know that's super corny, but for real, the ideal day, I think we've done it multiple times. I think I surfed in the morning, and then I went and picked up Anna, and we went down to La Jolla Cove and brought the stand-up paddle boards and went and paddled around and enjoyed seeing the little sand sharks and the different fish, and snorkeled at the same time, and then did tandem at that little surf spot between the shores and the cove. And then after that, of course, we went and got a burrito. And then I think we finished up the night at the Padre game, and we've done that multiple times. Anna's ideal day would definitely be just me spending time with her, and me just giving her, my full attention, and not surfing, and she doesn't mind when I surf, but just me, being with her 100% of the time. We always bicker about me being late. I don't know what it is. I can only blame myself. But I like to blame my Mexican heritage. My mom's always late. I'm always late. My grandpa's always late. Everyone's always late in the Mexican culture, right? They call it a Mexican minute. You say, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." That's 30 minutes later. And so we always bicker about that, whether it's she's picking me up for school or whether I told her I'd be somewhere. And it sucks sometimes because I'm always late, so we have to plan around that. So I'm working on it, and I know as a future doctor I'm going to have to definitely work on that, but that's why I had Anna to whip me into shape. Oh, most vividly about the engagement was probably just how awesome everything worked together. I said, "Anna, do you trust me?" And she said yes. We went down to this great balcony, and the moon was right there, and it was overlooking Honolulu Bay, and you could see the waves in the distance. And I think the most vivid thing was me just trying to figure out when to go on my knee, how to do it, and I was super nervous, and I could tell her voice was getting shaky because she knew what I was going to do. And so I think that was the most vivid thing, just the anticipation of, leading up to that moment. What most excites me about marrying Anna is just getting to wake up to her each and every morning and being able to have a hot cup of coffee or tea next to her and just sit and hang out and obviously do fun stuff and hike and stuff like that. But I think most just being able to spend time together. Because 6 years is a long dang time. Having to go and say, oh, I gotta go home now. Oh, you gotta go home now. So just be able to stay and then wake up together. I'd say she'd probably say the same thing. Just be able to, wake up next to me and just be able to spend all our time together. Because I know she's frustrated with 6 years of kind of being back and forth, my house to your house, not being able to stay the night, of course. And, so I think that would be just her being able to spend all the time with me. And so that's my thing with her too. That's a really good question. I wouldn't say either of us are better than each other. I'd say we each have our different strengths. Anna's really soft and gentle and can really be in tune with the body, where I'm a little more forceful. And I see that really with my mom and dad. They both have a different style and they're both masters in their own style. And so I see that with Anna and I. Anna does great adjustments and I get adjusted by her like 3 times a week, so it's really cool. Who said I love you first? Wow, hold on. It was like 6 years ago. If I remember right, I believe it was me that said I love you first. I think I said I love you and I'm gonna marry you and all that stuff. I was pretty forward, and but that was like 6 months probably we'd been dating, and so I believe it was me. Anna, you could probably either agree with that or not, but I think it was me. So in our discussions, Anna has kind of fluctuated between like 2 and 6, kind of 2 with the white picket fence or 6 with the big van, like the Amish people. But I'd say around 4. I think we've talked about and agreed upon, and so I'd love to have a ton of kids, and I think it'd be great. But yeah, I think 4 is the number we agreed on. My favorite candy is definitely a Snickers bar. So Anna knows this because the night that I asked her out to my girlfriend, we went and saw the Fast and the Furious 4, it was. And so Paul Walker in that movie has a really cool car, and it's a Nissan Skyline. It's a 1998, and it's like this blue color that's really awesome, and yeah. My biggest fear is probably missing out on like really fun things when I hear like when people are going on like a really good surf trip or like going backpacking or something, and I can't go. That's like I get like so like stressed out, like I can't go on it. I guess I have a fear of missing out. So that's my biggest fear. I am obsessed with surfing. I think about it, talk about it, listen to things about it. Anna knows I'm all about it, so I think that's something I'm obsessed with. My favorite music artist would have to be Led Zeppelin, I think. Just whenever I'm going to go do something, that music always pumps me up. I love, all different types of music. I think that's just one of my favorites. My shoe size varies. Some shoes, like in Vans, I'm a 9. In other shoes, I'm a 10. Sometimes even a 10.5. So kind of in that 9 to 10.5 range, depending on the make of the shoe. My favorite food, that's an easy one, would have to be a California burrito or some form of burrito, whether that's carne asada California, breakfast number 4 at Alejandro's, or bean rice and cheese at Lola's. That would be my favorite food by far. I had got my first surfboard at age, what was I? I was in kindergarten, so I must have been 6. And Luke's and I, we got it as a joint present. We got to share it, and it's actually still in the garage too. It's a bluish green railed Menard surfboard, about 6 foot. There's just one really good surfer named Dave Rastovich. It's pretty cool. He has long hair and a beard like me, and he's a really good surfer. So I think it'd be cool to hang out with him for a day. Okay. So Anna does something. I think a lot of girls do it. Whenever we're looking to go out to eat somewhere, I'll say, "Hey, what do you want to eat?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know." And then I'll be like, "Okay, we'll go here." And she's like, "Oh, I don't feel like I don't want that." I'm like, "Well, what do you want?" "Oh, I don't know." And I go, "Okay, what about this place?" I don't want that." "Oh, where do you want to go?" "Oh, I don't know. You choose." And so it's just this back and forth that we never know what we want to eat, and then yeah. So I think that is slightly irritating, but other than that, it's perfect. So Anna has a few nicknames. When we first started dating, because her last name is Knapp, and we had this joke that she was like an apple for I don't know why. In my phone, she's saved as Napple, Knapple. It's kind of weird, but yeah. And then another one is kind of weird. I call her Mama. It's really weird, but it's like in a way like I call my dog Mama too. So it's like I don't know. The three books that I would want is definitely Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. That was a fantastic book. The next book would definitely have to be... it's a chiropractic book called The Bigness of the Fellow Within, and I'm halfway through it right now, but I'd want it on the island because I would need all the time to finish it because it's like that big. And then the last book, I would have to say, of course, the Bible, because that's awesome. And yeah. Carson for a boy was something we talked about, and Peyton for a girl. My first job was at Surf Camp USA for Coach Cooper in the summer of ninth grade. My favorite special treat my mom makes would have to be her Mexican hot chocolate. It's fantastic. One movie for the rest of my life, what would it be? I think it would definitely have to be Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. That's just my all-time favorite movie. So, my first kiss wasn't under my control. I was in 4th grade at Charlie City Christian School, and I was on the playground, and this one girl named Whitney Danley was her name, and she kissed me on the cheek, and a whole drama ensued, and she liked me, and I didn't really like her, but I think it was a weekend. It was like on Friday we like went out to dinner or something, and Saturday we went like to Disneyland. They went to Club 33 with some of my dad's patients. It was super awesome. And then Sunday we did like a manhunt race thing in Solana Beach or in Del Mar, and that was super awesome. Like really fun weekend. I was like spent the whole weekend with her, and we did all that stuff. Lacey says she can't wait for the wedding. She's very excited that we found each other, Anna, and she is hungry at the moment. Anna, to end this off, I just want to tell you that I'm so excited to marry you. I think about it every day, and I'm just excited to spend the rest of my life with you and to finally get married and, finish 6 years of dating. It's been long enough, right? We're ready to get married and take the next step. So I love you, and I hope your shower is fantastic, and I can't wait to see you when I get home from Indonesia, and I love you.